Hi, this is Theo from ParkerBlocks.com. In today's tutorial and demonstration, I'm going to teach you how to draw a car using observational techniques. And after finishing the sketch, I'm going to talk about how you can troubleshoot the sketch to improve your drawing. So let's take a look at some examples. This is a sketch drawn near Chinatown in Singapore, and on the road there are a lot of cars. And this gives me the impression that, hey, there are a lot of people here. This place can be quite crowded because these cars are parked by people on the road. So this is one example. And in this example, there are also some cars. This is, by the way, a very small sketchbook. So to draw a car in a small sketchbook like this, I cannot draw in a lot of detail, so I simplified the car down to its very basic elements, very basic shapes. Another advantage of drawing cars in scenes is it provides a foreground and background elements. So the car that is in front of the building is the foreground, and the buildings at the back are the background, so it gives you a sense of depth. Let me show you another example. While I was drawing this car came over to park in front of me, so I was thinking, oh crap, I wanted to draw the building, but this car has entered the scene. So what I did is I just drew the car that is right in front, and in this case it can be quite helpful because the car blocked off some of the buildings behind, and there are actually a lot of cars behind. So instead of drawing many small cars, now I just have to draw one big car. And again, it provides that sense of depth. There's the foreground and then there's the background. This is the car that I'm going to draw today. I'm just going to draw this in isolation. I'm not going to include the background. And I'm going to start from this side here, this side of the windscreen here. So I'm trying to get the angle of the windscreen as much as possible and move to this side here. The line moves a bit towards the upper side, and then it curves down. And this bumper area here, it goes all the way to the right side here past this point here, which is the windscreen. So it actually intersects around this point. That's where the bumper is. So I'm just going to draw a very slight curve, almost horizontal curve to this side, so it passes the windscreen there. And before I draw this semicircle, I need to know where the top of the semicircle is. So the top of the semicircle, it's aligned to this side here, halfway, maybe a bit higher around here. So as I draw the semicircle, I need to know where it's going to stop. So it's going to stop somewhere around here and moves down. And this ending point here is slightly higher than this point. So now with this point, I can draw in this line, which is, I would say, aligns to this part here. So it's going to stop somewhere around here. And this line is about as long as this line. So let me draw that to this point here. I think that's about right. Okay, so now I can draw the wheel at the back. Now this height here, this point here is higher than this point. So I need to draw it higher. It comes down like this. And now I can draw the roof of the car. It goes all the way in a gentle curve all the way to the back. This point here where it turns sharply. And this point is actually at the front of the wheel, maybe to the front of this height here. So I need to turn it around this area here. So I'm just going to draw it like this and stop here. And that's where I will move down. Move to the right side a bit and move down like this. And now that I have the general shape of the car, I can fill in all the details. The details are very easy to fill in. I'm going to start with the logo first. The logo is actually to the left side of this windscreen. And it's somewhere at the top compared to this height here. So it's somewhere around here. Now, as I'm drawing, all the techniques that I'm used are actually basic alignment techniques, like where is this point in relation to other points, where is this line in relation to other lines, what is this angle in relation to other angles. So those are the very basic techniques that I'm using in this tutorial. So I'm just going to draw to the left side and to the right side. This point here is actually going to intersect this windscreen. You see here, this point here intersects the windscreen at a halfway point there, and I am actually about there, and I can draw it like this. Perhaps I need to draw the windscreen to make it a bit clearer. So this point here is very close to the wheel, so I will stop at the wheel there, and then it curves up slightly and it connects back to this point here. Alright, now I can draw the license plate like this. It's a horizontal line, moves down like this. I leave some gap at the bottom like this. Now this license plate, it takes up a large area of this black box, so when you're drawing, make sure that it takes up a huge area inside. And now I can draw the wheels, or I can draw the windows. I'm going to draw the wheels first. Now if the wheel is tilted like this, usually this side of the wheel you will see more of the tire, and this side you'll see less of the tires. And also when you're drawing the wheel like this, when you reach the top, make sure that it's circular, it's not sharp. So I'm going to draw it like this. When I reach the top, I make sure that it's circular, and then curves down, and then it's circular and it curves back up like this again. And for this particular wheel, I'm going to leave more space on the left side and less space on the right side. I don't have a lot of space to draw in all the grills of this wheel, so I'm just going to do very simple impressions of the grills, the shadow areas, and draw the front of the tires like this. There is actually a very small black bumper that is below. It's very difficult to see, but it is there, so I'm going to draw that in. It's just a very thin bumper. I'm going to shade it in black as well because it's very dark. And there's a wheel that is behind on the other side, so that is the wheel that is behind. And now I can draw in the headlights and this circular thing. The headlights. The headlight is going to start between this thing and this box here. So it's going to start somewhere here and it's going to end at the windscreen around here. So let me just draw it like this and like this. There's a circular thing going on inside, so I'm going to draw it like this. And this is this part here. And now I'm going to draw the side windows. Now this part of the window actually is further down compared to the windscreen here, so I'm going to draw it further down like this. And the back of the window, it has some space here, so I'm just going to draw it to the back like this. And this point here aligns to this windscreen here, so it's going to cut somewhere around here, so I have to take note of where it's going to end. It's going to end somewhere around there. And now with this big shape, I can divide it into smaller shapes. I can also draw the side mirror. And let me draw the back wheel. The back wheel usually is smaller, slightly smaller when drawing from observation. And I'm going to shade this part here like this. And this red light, the tail light, let me draw that in. And now I draw in the handles like this. I'm just going to use one line to represent the handle because This is actually a very small drawing. I mean, it's about the length of my finger actually. As for the tiny lines, you can include them. You can choose to leave them out. It's not very important. But I think this is basically the shape of the car. I am almost done actually. So now I'm just going to shade in the shadow areas, the darker areas. So far, all the techniques that I use are basic alignment techniques, like where is this point in relation to other points, where is this line in relation to other lines, what is the angle of this line in relation to the angle of another line that is beside or far away. So all these are basic alignment techniques, and if you want an accurate drawing, then you should pay attention to the proportion and compare and measure. So now as I compare my drawing with the photograph, I feel that my perspective is a bit off, the proportion is a bit off, but where is it different actually compared to the photograph? So it's actually where the wheels are. So if I take a look at this wheel here and this wheel here, if I draw a horizontal line from the back wheel to the front wheel, it's going to intersect the bottom half of this wheel here. Now look at my drawing here. If I draw a horizontal line to the left side, it intersects the wheel at the top. So clearly the proportion is wrong here. So if I have to redraw this, I would have to draw the wheel around here somewhere. And of course, if I redraw this wheel, I would have to redraw this line here. And this is a much more gentle line. So it's something like this. And notice this wheel, the size of this wheel. Now this area here, this height here, it's almost the same height as this place here. And then if I take a look at this wheel here and compare it to the space above it, you see I did not leave enough space here. So that's where this drawing is not that accurate. So with the corrections in mind, I'm going to put a piece of paper over to do the correction, to let you see the difference between the correction and my original drawing. So this line here is a bit more gentle, and the wheel is now a bit lower. Now I have left more space on top, and this wheel, the bottom of the wheel, remember, it should cut at this area here. So this is the corrected drawing, and this is the other drawing. So this is more accurate compared to this. So that's all for the tutorial today. I hope it's helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section below. If you want to learn more about drawing, I have free tutorials on my playlist. The link is in the video description below. Or if you are a beginner who wants to learn more about drawing, who wants to get started, I have an online tutorial course that teaches you how to draw from observation. The link is also in the video description below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.